I am really sorry I did not post a video yesterday, but just like when I started the Heishi series, I wanted a gap between the Showa and the Heishi series, so I didn't post a review for a day, just so you guys can absorb it all in. So now that the Millennium series is starting, I thought I'd stop it at the Heishi series, and then skip a day, and then go back into the Millennium series. And I gave you guys a treat. I did the 1998 American version of Godzilla's review. What a treat. Regardless, there will be 2 reviews today. Godzilla 2000! Even though the official movie came out in 1999. This film starts by getting right into the action. In the beginning, there's a boat that's trying to be reached so they can establish contact, and the boat's not responding. They're all wondering why. And then the guy who's trying to call them is looking out the window, and all of a sudden you see Godzilla with the bow in his mouth, and I'm like, that is how you start a Godzilla film. Yeah. From then on out, we have the military coming in to try to destroy Godzilla, which is nothing new. But they mention they have this new armor-piercing weapon, and they never really... I don't know if they use it or not, because they never even say if they do. It's just like, yeah, we have this armor-piercing weapon. The build-up is building, and there is no announcement of this weapon being used. The main focus that I want to talk about in this film is not Godzilla. Let me just say what I think about him right off the bat. I think he looks awesome. I think he's what the American version should have been. But the thing I want to talk about is his opponent, Regenerator G1. It's incredible. I mean, I've always wanted to see a build-up for one of Godzilla's monsters. I'm like, yep, there he is. Fight him. Okay. But this time, there's a rock formation that turns out to be a spaceship that absorbs Godzilla's DNA and cell structure to become him. And by the end, there's this monster that is freaking awesome. It kind of reminds me of Biollante in some ways, but it's a short battle, but it's well worth the wait. The characters are pretty colorful, too. You have this organization called, I think it's Godzilla Prediction Agency, and they're always trying to chase around Godzilla, and one of them's just trying to get pictures, but they used to work for the CCI, is what I think it's called, and their mission was to kill Godzilla, while the GPA, Godzilla Prediction Agency, was there to try to study Godzilla and keep him contained. They have like this little feud about like, should we kill Godzilla or should we keep him alive and study him? In the end, I'm not going to spoil it. There is a problem I have with Godzilla in this film, and that is his multiple roars. Granted, he has his original roar that's been enhanced and it sounds completely eerie and haunting and awesome. But then he has these other roars that sound like T-Rex roars, like there's, I think, 2 or 3 of them. And then there's some other roars that I can't even distinguish from what's going on in his original roar to what's going on in the new roar, and it's like, just stick to the original roar! How is that so hard? This is the second Japanese Godzilla film to go to theaters. And I'm very shocked at how poorly it did, because there were so many fans that I think there'd be more than $7 or $10 million worth of however much it made, and it pissed off a lot of other people because they thought it was a sequel to that crappy American version, which people seemed to be they were just very confused. Also, there's one guy who gets it so bad from Godzilla, and it reminded me of the guy from Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah who's in the building, and Godzilla just goes and annihilates him. But in this one, there's this one guy who's a bad guy, sort of, and he just gets demolished in the building collapse, and it's like, wow. You go, Godzilla. You don't fuck with Godzilla, man. I will admit that the very last shot in the film had me in tears of laughter. they're like, maybe Godzilla should always protect us. Something like that. They're like, why does Godzilla keep on protecting us? And then the guy's like, maybe there's just a little bit of Godzilla in each and every one of us. And then the last shot you get is Godzilla going all over Tokyo or wherever it is. And they're like, it's like burning to the ground. And then Godzilla's just walking towards the camera. And they're like, yeah, keep on protecting us, Godzilla. No need to huff and puff. You can just blow us right down. Overall, I give Godzilla 2000 a 3.5 out of 5. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Movie Reviews. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below, and to leave comments and subscribe.